Hey guys, it's another day that it is so good to see you all. Um, let's see. Remember, we're doing this every day, so I wanted to check in, see how you guys are doing, and let's talk about something else that really impacts us as it pertains to nursing when we think about what it is we do every day. So, if you've ever felt like you're supposed to recover quickly, like rest should somehow reset you, and that after a day off, you should be magically ready to begin again. This video and this episode is for you. So, today we're talking about the quiet but heavy expectation that's placed on nurses to bounce back. We're supposed to work hard, feel deeply, witness suffering, carry responsibility, and then just return as if none of it lingered, none of it remained with us. And this isn't about resilience, it's really about real recovery and why bouncing back is often the wrong goal altogether. In nursing, we find that strength is usually defined as showing up no matter what, pushing through your exhaustion, not letting anything affect you for too long, and recovering quickly and recovering quietly. We've all seen it. Who are the nurses who are praised? We praise nurses who handle it, who don't complain, and they seem to bounce back quickly and they're back at it already. But how often do we ever hear, what did it cost you to bounce back? What did it cost you to be ready? The idea itself of bouncing back, it just assumes that what you experienced was only temporary and that what you carried wasn't heavy or significant in any way. It also assumes that what you witnessed didn't leave its own mark on you. And that's just not the case. Bouncing back is not the same thing as healing. Bouncing back kind of focuses on our performance, but healing focuses on us as a whole, on being integrated. So you think about it, bouncing back says and looks like get back to who you were. Healing, on the other hand, says, well, who are you now? After everything you've carried, who are you now? Nursing changes you, as I know you know. And it's not because you're weak, it changes you because you're human. You don't need to return and go back to an old version of yourself. You're allowed to move forward as a changed person. So we think about what we're actually recovering from. When nurses say they're tired, it's rarely just physical. What are they tired of? We find ourselves recovering from always having to be vigilant, from being having our emotions exposed. We're recovering from moral distress, where what we believe and what we truly feel may not always align with what's expected of us in an organization. We're recovering from being needed constantly, for holding it together for everyone else, and for kind of tamping down and suppressing our feelings to be able to continue functioning. And these aren't things that you bounce back from overnight. They require time. They require you to be gentle with yourself. It requires you to understand and show some understanding. And it requires permission for you to not be okay yet. We have to be comfortable with showing ourselves grace as we journey through recovery. So, because we have to unpack these things and look at what each of these things are, slow recovery can feel like you're failing. It's almost as if you feel like if you aren't able to bounce back and get a handle on this quickly, you're weak. And it's not the case. You'll say things to yourself or think like, I don't know what's taking me so long to get over this. I should be over this by now. Or why am I still tired? Or you can look around at other nurses and you'll say, well, other nurses seem to be okay. Why am I so different? And then you'll start to have these conversations with yourself that says, well, you know what? Maybe I'm not cut out for nursing. But slow recovery itself, it doesn't mean you're failing. You're just actually listening to your body. You're not numbing it out anymore. And you're letting things come to the surface instead of always suppressing it. And we know what happens when we continue to suppress our feelings, suppress our thoughts, suppress our words. It often comes out in ways that end up harming us and harming others. So because you're doing this and you're recovering slowly, it's not going backwards. It's you being aware. So what if you find that your recovery is not always this forward motion, always in forward motion? You'll find that some days you're going to feel okay, and some days you won't feel okay. Some days rest is going to help and make you feel better. And some days that rest isn't even going to touch the fatigue you're feeling. It doesn't mean that the rest itself isn't working. It just means that your recovery is layered. It's like an onion. You have to think about it. There are so many layers to who you are as a person. And there are just as many layers to who you are as a nurse. And if we aren't able to see what that looks like on each level, we're not going to be able to recover. So it takes time. You're not moving backwards. You're actually moving through something. You're getting to a better place, but it's a journey. It's putting one foot in front of the other and moving forward. But again, sometimes it will feel like one step forward, two steps back. But this is your body regulating. This is your body adjusting. This is you acknowledging what it is you're feeling. So understand your healing doesn't have to follow a shift schedule. No one is saying you have to heal in 8 hours or heal in 12 or 12 and a half hours. Your healing does not owe anyone speed. And I need you to understand that. Your healing does not require you to move at a pace that is seen by others or acknowledged by others or even praised by others. Their feelings, their thoughts don't matter. They are irrelevant. This is about you getting to a good place in a good space where you are good for yourself. Because once you're good for you, you'll be good for everyone else that you that are in your sphere of influence. Once you are good for you, you'll be able to walk and work in an environment where your needs are being met. The day is going to bring what it's going to bring. There is no changing that. What does change, though, and what can change and will change is how you act and react to that day. So, a different way to think about recovery is instead of asking yourself, why haven't I bounced back yet? Try asking yourself, what am I still carrying? What do I need more of right now? What does or what would gentleness look like today? Let's be honest. When is the last time you've been gentle with yourself? We find and have the ability and the knack to pull out gentleness for everyone else. But when is the last time you've been gentle with you? Being cheerful, being energized, being productive. Sometimes recovery simply means you didn't push yourself past your limit today. You acknowledged the limit and you stopped at that limit. Recovery can mean that you noticed what you needed. You acknowledged it. It could also be that you chose to rest without explaining yourself. Again, you don't owe explanations when it comes to your recovery. These are the things that matter. That's what counts. So if you find you haven't bounced back yet, it doesn't mean that something's wrong with you. It just means that you're human in a profession that has always asked for more than it gives. So before you go, I'm going to leave you with this. And remember, this is and always will be a judgment-free zone. So ask yourself this. What if healing isn't about returning to who you were? What if healing is honoring the person you are now? Sit with that. Think about it. Again, we as human beings are multi-layered. So that might mean something different. It might bring up a lot of emotions on different levels. But be gentle with yourself as you think about it and work through it. Be kind and be gentle to yourself. So if you feel comfortable, I'd love to hear from you. Where do you feel pressure to be okay? Or what helps you recover without you rushing yourself? Remember, you don't need to bounce back. You're allowed to move forward slowly. I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad we're tackling things that have often gone unspoken, but affects us so deeply. So I'm going to see you again in the next episode. And until next time, be well, stay safe, and take care.